The first dog was not your best friend. It was a wolf. It had teeth that could open your skin, eyes that watched from the dark, and a nose that knew exactly where your camp had thrown away the bone. And somehow, that animal became the creature that sleeps beside human children. That is the strange part, because humans did not begin by taming a cute puppy. They began by living close to one of the most dangerous predators on Earth. So the real question is not, how did humans domesticate dogs? The real question is, why did either side allow it to happen? Start at the edge of an ice age camp. The air is cold, meat is rare. Every calorie matters. A group of humans has gathered near a fire, and beyond the light, wolves are waiting. Not attacking, not yet, just watching. For a wolf, a human camp is dangerous, but it is also tempting. There are bones, scraps, hides, smells, heat. A camp is a strange new feeding place made by another predator. Most wolves would stay away. That fear kept them alive. But not every wolf is the same. Some are bolder, some are calmer. Some can come a little closer before panic takes over. And those wolves may have found a new kind of niche, not in the forest and not in the open steppe, but in the shadow of human life. This is where domestication probably began. Not with a leash, not with a command, with distance. One wolf stays 50 steps away, another stays 30. Another learns that if it does not snarl, does not rush, and does not steal from a hand, it can survive near the fire. That sounds small, but evolution loves small differences. A less fearful wolf gets more scraps. More scraps mean better survival. Better survival means more pups. If those pups inherit even a little of that lower fear, the next generation begins closer to humans than the last. Nobody has to plan it. Nobody has to understand genetics. The camp itself becomes a filter. Wild wolves that are too aggressive are driven away or killed. Wolves that are too nervous never get close enough to benefit. The ones in the middle, bold but not suicidal, curious but not violent, get the advantage. Over time, the wolf at the edge of camp becomes a different animal. But that is only half the story. Because humans were changing too. Your ancestors were not helpless. They were expert readers of movement, tracks, eyes, posture, hunger, threat. Their survival depended on noticing tiny changes in animal behavior. A wolf that came too close was a danger. But a wolf that lingered near camp could also be useful. It could warn of strangers. It could notice movement before humans did. It could follow blood trails. It could help locate carcasses. It could keep other scavengers away. Even before a wolf became a dog, its senses were valuable. That may be the first reason humans allowed the relationship to continue. Not love first, usefulness first. But usefulness does not explain everything. If the story were only practical, early humans could have treated these animals like tools and nothing more. Yet the archaeological record hints at something deeper. One of the most famous early dogs is the Bonn Oberkassel dog, found in Germany with human burials and dated to about 14,200 years ago. Researchers have argued that this animal survived serious illness long enough that humans may have cared for it. That matters, because an animal that cannot hunt, cannot guard, and cannot repay the group with obvious work is not just a tool. It is someone being kept alive. That does not prove the first dog was a pet in the modern sense, but it does suggest that by the end of the Ice Age, the bond had already crossed an invisible line. The animal was no longer only useful, it belonged. Now look at the timing. Dogs were domesticated before sheep, goats, cattle, pigs, horses, and chickens. Before farming reshaped the world, before permanent villages became common, humans had already formed a partnership with another predator. That is astonishing, because most domesticated animals entered human life as food, fiber, labor, or transport. Dogs entered as companions in hunting and survival. They were not grass-eating animals that could be fenced and milked. They were carnivores. They competed with humans for meat. And still, humans kept them close. Ancient DNA makes the story even stranger. For a long time, people imagined one simple origin. Somewhere, one group of humans tamed one group of wolves, and all dogs descended from that moment. But the evidence is messier. A major study in science found that by about 11,000 years ago, there were already at least 5 major dog ancestry lineages. That means the story of dogs had been unfolding for a long time before that date. Another study in Nature analyzed ancient wolf genomes and found that dogs carry ancestry connected to more than one ancient wolf population. Some dogs appear more closely related to ancient wolves from eastern Eurasia, while others show ancestry connected to wolves from southwest Eurasia. In plain English, the origin of dogs does not look like one clean dot on a map. It looks like a deep Ice Age process. Maybe dogs arose in one region and later mixed with other wolves. Maybe similar domestication processes happened more than once. Maybe the real answer is not one birthplace, but a moving relationship between human groups, wolf populations, climate, and survival. Science has not fully solved that part yet. And that uncertainty is important, because the popular version is too neat. It says humans saw wolves, stole puppies, raised them, and eventually got dogs. That may have happened sometimes. Humans almost certainly took young animals now and then, because human curiosity is ancient. But raising a wolf pup is not the same as creating a dog. A hand-raised wolf is still a wolf. It may know people. It may tolerate people. But domestication is not one animal becoming friendly. Domestication is a population changing across generations. That change reaches the body. The animal becomes less reactive to humans. Its skull can become shorter. Its teeth can change. Its face can become more expressive. Its breeding cycle can shift. Its behavior becomes more flexible around people. The first step was probably not obedience. It was reduced fear. That one change opened everything else. A wolf that panics less can watch humans longer. A wolf that watches longer can learn patterns. It learns where scraps appear. It learns which gestures are dangerous. It learns that a thrown bone is not the same as a thrown spear. Then humans learn too. They learn which animals approach calmly, which ones follow at a distance, which ones bark or howl at movement, which ones do not threaten children, which ones return. Trust grows very slowly. Then suddenly, from the outside, it looks like friendship. But it is not magic. It is repeated survival without betrayal. That may be the hidden engine of dog domestication. Every day an animal comes near and does not attack. The human brain updates. Every day a human throws food and does not kill. The animal brain updates. The distance gets smaller. Fear becomes prediction. Prediction becomes tolerance. Tolerance becomes attachment. Then one night, a wolf does something different. It does not just eat near the camp. It sleeps nearby. That is a dangerous thing for both sides. Sleeping means vulnerability. A sleeping wolf near humans is trusting another predator not to kill it. Sleeping humans near a wolf are trusting teeth not to close around them in the dark. When that becomes normal, something enormous has already happened. The boundary between species has moved. So why did humans domesticate dogs? Because dogs solve problems no human body could solve alone. A human can see. A dog can smell yesterday. A human can hear. A dog can hear the small shift in the dark before the human knows there is anything there. A human can track. A dog can turn scent into a map. For hunters, this mattered. A wounded animal could mean the difference between food and starvation. A dog could help follow the trail. A dog could flush prey. A dog could notice danger. A dog could stand between camp and something approaching. But the reason also goes beyond hunting. Dogs helped humans create a wider sensory world. With dogs, the camp had a nose beyond the firelight. It had ears in the dark. It had an alarm system that could move, smell, and remember. That kind of partnership changes how safe a place feels. Safety changes sleep. Sleep changes mood. Mood changes cooperation. Cooperation changes survival. This is why the bond became so powerful. A dog was not only an animal that did tasks. A dog changed the emotional temperature of human life. It made the night less empty. It made the edge of camp less blind. It made danger arrive with a warning. And humans gave dogs something just as powerful. Predictable food. Warmth. Protection from bigger threats. Access to a species that was spreading into almost every environment on Earth. To a wolf lineage that could tolerate humans, this was a massive evolutionary opportunity. The animals that became dogs did not need to be the strongest wolves. They needed to be the wolves best at reading humans. That is the twist. The dog did not evolve only to chase. It evolved to pay attention. Modern dogs are unusually good at reading human gestures. Even puppies can follow human pointing in ways that wolves struggle with unless heavily socialized. That does not mean ancient dogs were born as modern pets, but it shows the direction selection eventually took. The successful animal was not just fiercer. It was more socially tuned. It could live inside a human world without breaking it. Over thousands of years, this created a new kind of creature. Not fully wild, not fully human-made. Something in between. A dog is not a wolf that forgot how to be dangerous. A dog is a wolf lineage that found a new survival strategy through humans. And humans found a new survival strategy through dogs. That is why the relationship lasted. It was not charity. It was not only ownership. It was a deal written in food, warning, warmth, smell, movement, and trust. But the deal had a cost. Once dogs entered human life, humans began shaping them more directly. Some were better at hunting, some were better at guarding, some were calmer around children, some were more useful in cold places. Some could pull, carry, herd, or signal. Much later, humans would create the extreme variety of modern breeds. Tiny dogs, huge dogs, flat-faced dogs, long-legged dogs. Dogs shaped for beauty, status, work, sport, and companionship. But the deep origin is older than all of that. Before breeds, before collars, before dog names written in notebooks, there was the first long experiment in living beside another predator. And the strangest part is that neither side knew it was making history. No, Ice Age Hunter said, this wolf will become humanity's closest animal companion. No, wolf thought. This camp will change my descendants forever. There were only small decisions. Come closer. Stay back. Share scraps. Do not bite. Do not strike. Return tomorrow. Do it again. That is how enormous changes often begin. Not with a plan, with a repeated exception. The wolf that should have been driven away was allowed to stay a little closer. The human that should have seen only danger noticed something useful. Then something familiar, then something worth protecting. And after enough generations, the animal at the edge of the fire was no longer a wolf in the old sense. It was a dog. So when you see a dog looking at a human face today, you are not only seeing affection, you are seeing an ancient survival agreement still alive in the eyes. The first dog was not your best friend. It was a wolf. And that is what makes the friendship so strange.